Hi guys, welcome back to 10 Minute Reviews. Please don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. We're just starting out as a channel, so we appreciate all that support. I'm Jason, bringing you today's episode where I'm going to review a book in 10 minutes or less. As always, I'm going to talk about four things. I'm going to talk about the world, I'm going to talk about the characters, characters, I'm going to talk about the plot, and I'm going to talk about the writing style. So for today's book, I want to talk about Alpha Physics by Alex Kozlowski. Alpha Physics is it's a lit RPG book, one of my favorite genres, and it's and I like the lit RPG books just because they're entertaining. One, I'm a gamer, always have been, but also they're entertaining. I read for fun, and I want you guys to read for fun. So I want you guys to find fun books. A lot of the big cultural books, they're actually boring, really pretentious and boring. So I want you guys to find fun books. So Alpha Physics is a fun book. Now, he is starting out a series with this. But the very first book, typical lit RPG book. So first off, I want to talk about the world. So the world is what really defines Alpha Physics as a book. Basically, the world, like a lot of lit RPGs, there seems to be two main ways lit RPG books tend to go. Catastrophe, world is taken over by some system of some sort that creates the lit RPG environment, or the VR kind of thing where it's in the future and they go into a video game itself. But this particular case, it's basically the world ending, and it turns out it's our own fault. Our own scientists cause this world-ending event, and to stabilize things, basically it's the world is enfolded into the system. Everybody gets an interface, and it again turns into a lit RPG book. You've got your character screen, you've got your levels, you've got your skills, and the book. What's great about Alpha Physics is they actually call it Alpha Physics because things change. The physics change within the world. Obviously, magic exists, things along those lines. You've got your interfaces, your skills, your level ups, and stuff like that. Your attributes, your stats. But they talk about it how it's a consequence of the system and basically protecting humanity as it tries to grow and tries to survive. And it talks about how over hundreds of millions of years, multiple societies have become technologically advanced, and they kind of hit this point. Not quite the technological singularity, something our own scientists talk about. That's a totally different thing and much further along. But they hit this point where basically you hit your level of technology and you self-destruct, and the system was created by earlier civilizations that went through that to help shield and protect civilizations as they go. So that's the world. The book itself takes place in Australia. The character is obviously Australian, trying to get home to Melbourne. He is, going into characters. The character's name is Adrian, I believe. And yeah, Adrian. And I don't know why I'm so bad with the names. I literally finished this book today. But Adrian is he's a project manager for a solar plant, basically. So he's out in the middle of the desert, which most people think that's all of Australia, and it's a pretty good percentage, but it's not really all of Australia. But anyway, he's out in the desert when this occurs, and he gets what eventually turns out to be a unique interface that interfaces him with the Alpha Physics system and helps him choose a kind of a class, but helps him choose his skills and things along those lines. Now, as the book progresses, you learn that his system, even though they say that they're not sentient, his system probably is, or his interface probably is, but has to hide that. And it turns out that he's not the only one. There are people with what they call unique interfaces. So it turns out he levels up very, very slowly, about 1/10 the speed of other people, but having a unique interface gives him unique class abilities and keeps him pretty much on par and possibly even overpowered if he's clever with what he does, which he is. So this character is also a self-proclaimed coward, but ends up with this strength, these abilities that are greater than other people's abilities. Now, a lot of his abilities are based on kind of cowardly stuff, hiding, stealth, invisibility, things like that. But he finds that he just can't bring himself to let other people die when he could probably stop something. does still almost die. Unlike a lot of lit RPG books, this character, Adrian, is not overpowered. A lot of them are extremely overpowered. There's even a couple of lit RPG books that even talk about, it's even in the title, overpowered MC, overpowered main character. In this case, he's not overpowered. He's clever, and his abilities are pretty awesome. And again, one-on-one against, people of similar level, let's say, other people, yeah, he might be, he might have an advantage, but definitely not overpowered. As far as the plot goes, the plot for Alpha Physics is pretty simple. Now, I'm assuming the next 5, not so much. I'm such a huge lit RPG fan, I actually can't believe that I hadn't read Alpha Physics. It's been on my list forever. But the first book is mostly just, you'd almost, if you look at all 6 books as one, you would almost look at the first book as kind of almost sort of a prologue, because Adrian learns about alpha physics, learns about the world, learns what it's going to take to survive, or learns just how dangerous the world is, and he's kind of stuck out in the middle of nowhere. Now he uses that middle of nowhere to gain the first parts of some of his more unique abilities and skills. And then he starts to travel because he needs to get home to Melbourne, to his wife, to his children. That's his driving force. That is what funnels every decision he makes, is getting home to his family. I can completely understand that. It makes sense. In fact, some of the characters in the book that are more, screw my family, or it's too dangerous, I'm not going to go. Those people I don't quite understand, although I've certainly met plenty of people like that. This character is like, no, screw that. I need to get to my family. So that's every decision he makes is to gain abilities, gain powers that's going to help him do that. He will not gain skills or abilities that he thinks are cool that he would normally want, because they don't necessarily help him in his goal to get home to his family. Again, those are the big things there. But through this, it's pretty cool. I mean, he ends up meeting other people. They're making like a little enclave. Helps teach them a few things, learns a few things from them. Some of it's absolutely hilarious. Some of the, especially some of the alcohols they run into. There's one great alcohol that's a mix of that they buy from system traders, alpha physics system traders. That picture this, an absolutely incredible alcohol mixed with your old college magic mushrooms. That's what this stuff is. And here's the fuzzy co-star for you. And the book just has all kinds of little things like that, especially with the interface. The interface, again, being sentient but not quite, is kind of a smartass. And pretty snarky to the character, to Adrian, which is pretty funny. But also helps him. Definitely helps him. And that leads me into the writing style. The writing style is, it's kind of hard to describe, because there's a lot of amusement to it. Some great character building. Adrian as a character is really, really, really fleshed out. A lot of the other characters get fleshed out. Of course, you've got a few cookie cutter characters that aren't all that fleshed out, because they don't really matter. They only come up maybe as a plot device to kind of help move something along, and then they're gone again. But the characters that are recurring, he writes really good characters, really fleshes them out, really discusses their motivations, and the world he built is absolutely phenomenal. The Alpha Physics world, I understand why this is 6 books. The Alpha Physics world is really, really cool and really, really good. So you guys have to hit the like and subscribe buttons. You guys got to go check out Alpha Physics by Alex Kozlowski. Thank you everybody for watching. We will catch you next time. Bye now.